showed their support for the president this past weekend by attending some rallies that spread across the nation. Now, Colorado Congresswoman-elect Lauren Boebert attended the Women for America First rally and gave her full support for the president by saying this.
President Donald J. Trump was a family man. He is a businessman, and he loves America. President Donald Trump has a servant's heart, and he puts the American people first. It's the first time that we have seen an America first agenda like his.
All right, here to tell us the goal of the rallies is Colorado Congresswoman-elect herself, Lauren Boebert. Congresswoman-elect, let me ask you first, was that in Washington or was that back in your home in Colorado? And where are you now?
That was right in Washington, D.C., in front of the Supreme Court building. Right now, I am in Silt, Colorado. I'm enjoying some time with my family before I hit the road again. I am going to Georgia later this week to help with the Senate races. We absolutely need to hold the Senate to make sure that we have a strong voice in this country still, should a Biden administration pull this scam off.
You know, Congresswoman-elect, you've actually been across the country trying to garner the support and tell people, you know, don't lose faith yet. What do you think is the strongest case moving forward for President Trump?
Yesterday, Heather, we saw one of quite a few steps that we still have in this constitutional process. So there are still many more steps to go. We'll see what happens when these electoral votes are presented in Congress on January 6th and those are counted. We'll see if those are accepted or rejected. If you go back to the 2016 election with President Donald J. Trump, while those votes were being counted in the House, there were 10 states that rejected those electoral college votes, but they did not have a Senate co-sponsor to finalize the rejection. So we ultimately ended with a Trump presidency. It may be different this time. We'll see what January 6th looks like, but we still have until January 20th to see exactly what happens in this contested election. I had the privilege, Heather and Bob, to sit in the Oval Office with the President of the United States, and I encouraged him to continue to fight for the American people, just like he has done every single day of his administration. And he told me that he has just begun to fight. And I believe him that this is far from over. This election is not over yet, and the American people need to stay strong. They need hope now more than ever, a favorable, confident expectation that this isn't the end, and we still have a chance to keep our constitutional republic strong.
Lauren, you don't have to answer this, but I'm going to ask you. You're known as pistol packing, and Washington is not the most pistol packing area in the country. And up on Capitol Hill, are you going to take a friend with you, or how are you going to handle that?
I will absolutely be exercising my Second Amendment right in Washington, D.C. I have already taken some firearm safety classes, some courses with the infamous Leon Spears, and I will receive my concealed carry permit for Washington, D.C. You know, like most Democrat-run cities, Bob, Washington, D.C. has a violent crime problem. Yeah. The crime rate there is 158% times higher than the national average. And now, I don't know what people think about everyday House members, but I don't go to work in an armored car. I am my security. I don't have Capitol Hill police escorting me everywhere. I will be walking to and from my house, from the Capitol each day that I'm working there, and I need to be able to protect myself. I am 5'0", 100 pounds, and I need an equalizer against a potential stronger aggressor. So I will absolutely have my firearm in Washington, D.C. I will carry in Congress, and in my office in the Longworth building, I will even be able to open carry my firearm, and I hope you all visit me there.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, in this era of such divisiveness across the country, we know that conservative politicians have become more and more of a target. You know, we can just look to what happened with Steve Scalise during that, what was it, a spring practice baseball game.
Absolutely, and you can thank a lot of the mainstream media for causing this outrage and hate towards conservative politicians, conservative members of Congress. And maybe we do need to revisit and have a history lesson about that congressional baseball practice where Whip Scalise was shot. He needed full detail around him to neutralize that threat and to stop that situation. And I never want to be in a situation where I don't feel that I would be able to neutralize a threat if it were to occur. Washington, D.C. should be the place where we are free to exercise all of our rights. That should be where our rights are the most secure, the most defended. And that's exactly what I am going to Washington, D.C. to do, to defend your rights, to defend the rights of the people. We, the governed, give consent to be governed. And there's some things that we're not consenting to anymore. I think it's time for government to realize that they aren't these, it's not this all-powerful being. Any power that government has, it's because the people have derived them those powers, have given them those powers to operate that in. And I believe that it's time that we, the people, start to take some of those powers back.
And they elected you there in Colorado. Congresswoman-elect Boebert, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And remember, I like to speak loudly and carry a Glock. So a lot of people like to speak softly and carry a big stick, but I change it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for having me. God bless y'all.
Sounds like a T-shirt. We appreciate it.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.